After a banquet hosted by the Chinese Premier, Dr. Singh was given a guided tour of the Forbidden City by his host, a rare gesture. The UNESCO World Heritage Site was the imperial palace of the Ming and Qing dynasties. It remains an important symbol of the Chinese people and appears on the seal of the People's Republic of China. In the evening, the Prime Minister called on the Chinese President Xi Jinping, who hosted a banquet for him. Dr. Singh told the Chinese President that the dreams of India and China are interconnected and compatible and invited him to visit India. President Xi said that what India and China do together shall profoundly impact the world, and also accepted the Prime Minister's invitation.
President Xi Jinping underlined that India and China are the world's two largest emerging markets, and that the bilateral relationship has gone far beyond the bilateral to the regional and indeed the global spheres. And what India and China do together will profoundly impact the world.
The cultural exchange program has been receiving significant interest among a section of young Chinese who are fascinated by Indian music, dance and Bollywood.
I really like Bollywood dance and also semi-classical Indian dance, and I'm just crazy about Indian culture.
If more exchanges do happen, the bilateral for the culture, especially for the dance or the food, or the people from other than the politics or the other people like ministers and all, they come up. So I think they're going to be really the Chindia, what you can say, is coming up.
Peking University's Hindi department has a number of interested students. Here's an undergraduate class of Professor Anil Rai.
हमारे जो बायलैटरल रिलेशंस हैं चीन से काफ़ी अच्छे हैं और इसके साथ साथ व्यापार की दृष्टि से भी ये हिंदी का अध्ययन करना चाहते हैं। बहुत सी चाइनीज़ कंपनियां हैं जो भारत में हैं, तो वहाँ पर काम करने के लिए भी ये लोग हिंदी सीखते हैं। दूसरा ये कि हिंदी साहित्य के प्रति भी इनका बहुत ज़बरदस्त रुझान है।
भारत एक उभरते हुए देश है, एक बहुत बड़ा विशाल देश है, और न केवल हिंदी इसकी संस्कृति, इसके साहित्य और इतिहास भी बहुत सुंदर और अच्छे हैं।
ये रातें, ये मौसम, नदी का किनारा, ये जंगल हवा, कहा तो दिलों ने ये मिलकर कभी हम न होंगे जुदा। ये रातें, ये मौसम, नदी का किनारा, ये जंगल हवा।
Indian restaurants too are gaining popularity. The Taj Pavilion is one of a chain of 3 restaurants run by Mr. Pastakia, who has expanded his business over the last 20 years. He also caters for business conferences, seminars, and runs Indian food catering services for 5-star hotels.
Basically, like India and China, both countries have a very deep history, in history as well as in history of food. So for them to change the food habits, it's not very easy. Those who come to our restaurant are mainly from the bracket which are below 35 years, age of 35 years. Long before 15 years back, we would say that there would be maybe 10%, 15% of Chinese clientele, but lately it has gone up to almost 50%.
The Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh concluded his 2-day visit to Beijing by addressing the Communist Party School. It is the highest school of learning in China and trains future leaders of the party. His speech came straight to the point, saying the days of containment as an instrument of foreign policy were over.
I have said on several occasions that India welcomes China's emergence. Frankly, old theories of alliances and containment are no longer relevant. India and China cannot be contained, and our recent history is testimony to this. Nor should we seek to contain others. We both know that the benefits of cooperation far outweigh any presumed gains from containment.
he highlighted 7 principles as the foundation for the future India-China relationship. These are a commitment to Panchsheel, maintaining peace on the border, increased consultation on complex issues, making communication transparent, seeking convergence on global issues, harnessing the full economic potential, increasing people-to-people contacts from all walks of life.
Like a beautiful tangram that emerges from 7 different shapes, these 7 principles would together create a beautiful tapestry of India-China relations in the years that lie ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased that the agreements that we have signed yesterday will help to advance many of these shared principles.
Dr. Singh highlighted 7 principles as the foundation for future cooperation. He compared them to a tangram, a game of 7 shapes, of squares, rectangles and triangles, to create different images. Thus, he committed the relationship, the future of this relationship, to positive imagination of future leaders. Before leaving for New Delhi, Dr. Singh had lunch with his old friend, former Premier Wen Jiabao. The two had played an important role in reshaping India-China relations over the last 10 years. This is the first time a former leader has hosted a visiting head of government, signs that the current Chinese leadership is moving away from the rigid protocols of the past.
Take a step back. Look at the visit in perspective and what has been achieved. You've had 2 areas of concern to us. You had the boundary, you had river waters. They've both been addressed to some degree or the other. All the other issues have been discussed, and it is a work in progress.
Bear in mind, look, it's a relationship in the making. You know, it's a relationship with a difficult history, which we are trying to overcome. To do business requires a lot of confidence. It requires a lot of familiarity with each other. And we are, in a sense, learning on the job. So each year, I mean, actually, if you look at what is happening between India and China, you can see that the relationship is becoming more mature, it's becoming, in a sense, more broad-based.
We should encourage more people, including businessmen, students, young people, artists, and in every field, the people more communication, more contact, more exchange. So gradually, the people, if we have both sides have the good understanding and know each other much better, all the issue can be resolved.
There seems to be renewed momentum in the India-China relationship, with the leadership on both sides keen on better ties. The 2 countries are not called Asian giants for nothing. The 2 most populous countries in the world are countries that have a shared history as well as a shared destiny. With cameraman Jagpal Singh, this is Mark Lin, DD News, Beijing.